Hey everyone, it's Rob with Passport to the Parks, and today is Wednesday, September 11th, and I am here at Disney's Hollywood Studios where they are officially starting the cast member previews for the Disney Skyliner. So today is like the first official day of full operation. Not for the general public, unfortunately, but this is for cast members. So this is really hopefully going to get a workout for the Skyliner. Cannot wait to see people actually getting on board and loading in a normal process. Up to this point, I believe it's just been the Skyliner cast members, just a random few that have been going back and forth. But this is going to be regular cast members. They're coming in, they're lining up behind me, and they're ready to get on board, and they're going to take their rides. So it's just going to be a lot of fun to watch. So let me turn you around here real quick, because I believe they are actually getting ready to start. They are forming the line up there already. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this is what it is going to look like. You're going to walk up the ramp through the entrance. You're going to walk right over to the Skyliner. They'll get on board the next gondola. You might be getting a little bit of instructions there right now. But there they go, look at that. Good for them. What a momentous occasion, seriously. That is so wild to finally see this all coming together. For so long, we've just been watching it being built and just wondering how this is going to work, and now we finally see some of the operations. Look like only about maybe 12 or 15 cast members have shown up so far. I believe this started at noon, so they should start showing up in more droves, hopefully, and we'll see a full operation happening here. But that is so amazing. They are off on their journey right now. Those first few cast members. And we'll walk around a little bit. We'll try to see them on board the gondolas. We'll watch them loading the gondolas. But let's see, I got a bunch of people coming on here. Let me go all the way back to the beginning. Bethany, welcome. James, Incognito Mouse, Sean, welcome. Brenda, hello. Frank, there's a Y in our family, welcome. Christopher, finally caught me live, awesome. Floyd, Justin, good to see you. Jessica, welcome. Kevin and Teresa, awesome to have you here. Adventure Amy, hello. Danielle, good to have you. Tom, you're very welcome. Mr. Cruz Fever, David, Melissa, awesome to have you here. Michael, Margaret, Lisa Warden Photographer, great to see you. Robbie, awesome to have you here. Very, very cool stuff. John, good to have you here, my friend. Emily. John, I wish I was there. There's nothing like seeing the Skyliner moving. You are absolutely right. It is a beautiful thing to witness. So far, only about 15 cast members have shown up to do this. That's great. But this is the very beginning. We're going to wait around. We're going to wait to see if more cast members show up. But they do have the entrance blocked off right now. So there's some shrubbery around it, and there's some bushes down here. So again, this is not open to the general public yet. This is just for cast members. So there's an entrance over here, and I'm sure they'll check IDs and all that great stuff. So, yep, there's a sign that actually says cast event, ooh, with the Skyliner logo on it as well. How cool is that? I love it. Amazing. Man, if I had the opportunity, I would have been here at 6 a.m. this morning, camping out in my tent. And only about 15 people have shown up so far. Now, you know, a lot of people are probably working, and they're going to work around their schedule. I'm not sure how long this is actually going to go today. And I'm not sure if they're going to go to different areas or if it's just a trip back and forth to the Caribbean beach and back here, or if they're going to be able to cross over and head maybe to Pop Century and do a round trip through there, even through to Epcot. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is that Hollywood Studios right now, they're allowing the cast member previews, and that's good enough for me. Terry, can't wait to be there in 100 days. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Christopher Braun, thank you so much. $1.99 Super Chat. Have you seen any evacuation tests over the water? We did. I didn't personally see it, but I saw a picture of it. I watched the rescue boat being built and all that stuff, and they only did it for a very brief time where they took that boat out in the water. I didn't see it personally on the water, but there is that rescue craft that they have built specifically for it. Seen all the other evacuations, seen the crane evacuations and the high tower and all that stuff, the rappelling from the tower at Epcot, all that. But I did not physically get a chance to see personally. Elbin, thank you so much. $5 Super Chat. Hi. I hope you don't mind me asking, are you retired and doing this full time, or do you have another job? I do this a lot for fun, so not retired. I'm not that old. Hopefully I don't look that old. I do have some white in my beard though, so I guess I'm getting older than I want to admit. But this is a lot of fun for me, so I just have the opportunity to come here and do this as much as I can. So all right, got some more cast members getting on there. Sorry, I might have been zoomed in a little bit there. I wasn't paying attention. Disney Dreams Net. Rob, we made it. Cast member previews. It's incredible. Can you believe this? I think we're, what, 18 days out now from the actual opening, and we are at cast member previews. The same was with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It was just so far away, and then all of a sudden cast member previews showed up and pass holder previews, and then it opened. Same with the Skyliner. It was so far away, it was literally impossible. We've been following it for so long, and now suddenly, boom, cast member previews, and we're gonna open in like 18 days. This is absolutely incredible. Tara and Drew Winner, won't be long now, you know it. Emily, can't wait to ride it. Me too. Casey, I will be there on my birthday on the 29th, staying at Pop. Wow, happy birthday. What a birthday present. That is incredible. You know, maybe if they don't get enough cast members to show up, maybe they'll come out here and grab people from, you know, people that are watching. That would be awesome. But I seriously doubt it. More cast members are definitely going to show up, you know that. Robbie, $10 Super Chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Did you mention all the nods at Disney Skyliner towards the old Von Roll Skyway to Disneyland, paying tribute to the past? Long live the Disney Skyway. Absolutely. I'm actually going to do a little article about how the current Skyliner and Doppelmayr and Disney are paying tribute to the old Skyway, the Von Roll Skyway that was at Disneyland and Disney World. There's all kinds of little details and stuff that Robbie has been pointing out to me that is really cool, how the little nuances, color schemes and things like that are little tributes to the original Skyway, which I think is amazing. I think that's perfectly fitting. The Skyway was an amazing attraction. I know it was one of Walt Disney's favorite attractions. I mean, transportation was Walt's thing. So definitely, I'm going to put together an article and really kind of detail that out, because I think it's awesome too. Some of the things you've showed me, I'm like, wow, that is really, really cool. But thank you for the Super Chat, my friend. Very generous. I appreciate that. Alvin, the red part on the Disney sign was covered up. Yeah, the other day when I was here, let me circle around here so you can see it. The Disney Skyliner sign here. When I was doing a video the other day, I looked at this sign, and for some reason the red Disney across the top caught my eye. I'm like, is that new? I was like, am I crazy? Has that been there the whole time? But I didn't go back and look at pictures and stuff. Now everybody's actually been going back and looking at the pictures, and that was actually covered up for quite some time, and they just took it down like yesterday or the day before. So now it does say Disney in red and then Skyliner down the side. So I wasn't crazy. That did catch my eye. I've seen this thing so many times. Things, you know, they kind of blend together sometimes. So very, very cool though. That sign is awesome. I truly love it. Emily, when they are full of people, and that's a lot of body heat in there, well, you know, I can't answer that honestly. I've not been actually inside one. We're going to get, I'm sure, a lot of people chattering on the internet about cast member previews and some of the things that are going on with that. So you never know. Once the people start riding and we get some of the reviews back, I don't think it's going to be bad at all. You know, it's, again, I'm standing out. It's probably about 87 degrees out right now. And as long as you're in the shade, as long as the sun is not on your head, it's very comfortable. You get a little bit of breeze and it feels good. So once you're in the gondola itself and you have all of that reflective glass around you, and you do have the ventilation, you do have the airflow coming through, I think it's going to be a comfortable ride. And again, it's only like 2 or 3 minutes to get over to the Caribbean beach, so you're not on there very long. By the time you start thinking about it, you're going to be getting off. So, all right, got some more cast members going to be jumping on board here. So yeah, it looks like they'll stop you. They'll wait for the gondola to be safe and clear with the doors open. Then they give you the arm signal to get on board. And then again, we've seen this process over and over again. They'll just slowly move through the track. Those doors will automatically close. We're watching the purple gondola here. That's where those cast members got on board. And again, there's a mechanism that automatically closes those doors. It's a hydraulic door and it closes nice and safe. And then all of a sudden those inner tracks are going to speed up a little bit, speed up, speed up, speed up. And then boom, right about there, it's going to grab onto that haul rope and off you go up into the gorgeous blue Florida sky. Greg Mariello, thank you so much. $4.99 super chat. Very, very generous. I appreciate that donation. Very much appreciated. Nemo's Glasses, welcome. Thank you for being here. Carlos, hola, saludos, Puerto Rico. Sorry, I don't know Spanish very well, but I believe you're saying hi from Puerto Rico. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Brian, any word on what we will hear when inside? Personally, I have actually heard over at Pop Century and Art of Animation, we are gliding over the sparkling waters of Hourglass Lake. It's a very pleasant female voice that says it. Some people have pegged it as Sigourney Weaver. I'm not 100% sure, but, or maybe was it Sigourney Weaver who was doing the Epcot? But I don't know, it's a very pleasant voice. But yeah, there's definitely audio on board. You can barely hear it here because of the music in the background, but you can hear a little bit of the audio as it takes off here. And I think it's, you know, welcome on board or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board. But it's a lot more faint because they go a little bit higher here, and you do have the Hollywood Studios music in the background. Whitney, awesome to have you here. Woohoo, it's getting close to opening day. Yes, it is. How amazing is this? Got a couple more cast members just got on board the yellow gondola. Actually looked like a bus driver there in costume. Woohoo to bus drivers. Love the buses. Did you see the Moana bus that I put up yesterday? I got a picture of that over at Epcot. The Moana bus, it looks absolutely amazing. I have it posted on all the social media. Oh, these cast members are so lucky. This is absolutely historical. What an incredible mode of transportation here. The monorail's amazing, the bus is amazing, the boats are amazing, but this, I mean, this is just so cool. It's so beautiful. The way these colors just pop against the blue sky, the characters, it's so much fun. And it just looks like it glides so smoothly through the air. The ride just looks like it's gonna be so peaceful and so magical. And you know what, who cares that it's not gonna be 39 degrees inside the cabins? It's gonna be cool, it's gonna be calm, and it's gonna be refreshing in there. That is my personal opinion, and I cannot wait to do it over and over again. And I'm afraid of heights, and I wanna do this, and I wanna keep doing it. So I'm gonna help everybody out who has any doubts about riding this. If I can do it, I say this to everybody, if I can do it, then anybody can do it. I tell my daughter that all the time. Well, she's a thrill seeker. I tell other kids that are scared about stuff, if I can do it, then you can do it. So we're going to get on board this, and we are going to overcome the fear of heights, and we're going to have an awesome time doing it when it's our turn, when it's the public's turn. All right, another cast member. Look at that.
Still remember, like, woman suing airline over their dead fucking rabbit, right? Yeah. Who the fuck takes a rabbit on a fucking airplane?
All right, so he is in the red gondola there. Gonna watch him take off on his historic trip across Hollywood Studios over to Caribbean Beach. Have a great ride, my friend. Oh, and he's got the Pirates of the Caribbean one too. How cool is that? That is an awesome gondola. Cast members really looking good today. I really do like the teal. The tangerine is okay. You know, a lot of people have said, hello, how are you?
Are you with one of the vlogs? Or?
Yeah, I'm a passport to the parks.
Okay, I've seen that.
You see me?
I'm
Okay.
Curious.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Appreciate it.
Well, I know, but I read all the stuff. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they're doing cast member riding today, cast members.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it'd be awesome. Have a great trip. But anyways, I am a big fan of the teal. The tangerine is okay. The tangerine actually looks a little bit cooler, maybe in the Florida sun. But they do have the ventilation. They look like a really thin material, so I'm sure the cast members are going to be nice and comfortable in the new costumes. Very retro costume. Kind of looks like the old Pan Am, the glory days of flight and all that back in the, the 50s and 60s, when you used to dress up in a suit and everything was prim and proper. I'm definitely not dressing up in a suit in 90-degree weather to take a ride on the Skyliner. Not going to do that. I'll stick with my shorts. Deborah, looking forward to May to use these. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You're going to have a great time. Brandon with WWE Lent. They should have a Pirates of the Caribbean. They do. We just watched it sail off into the distance there. There's a cast member that jumped on board. They have Pirates of the Caribbean. The Haunted Mansion is just leaving there as well. See Madame Leota up in the sky. All right, another cast member getting on board of a red gondola here. We're going to walk out a little bit so we can actually get a good look at him on board.
Make sure you send me a token.
All right, looks like he's on the Pluto gondola, so it might be a little harder to see him in there. Might be able to see him through the side. All right, another historic journey. Such a perfect day for this. Seems like every time I want to film cool Skyliner stuff, when they unveiled the characters, when they unveiled the gondolas, the first gondolas that were going, back and forth, it's always been like gray and gloomy days. Florida is usually beautiful, beautiful skies, but it seems like anytime there was ever a cool unveiling with the gondolas, it was always gray and gloomy. But today is different. The skies are blue, they're gorgeous, they're crystal clear. There's a really beautiful breeze. There's another cast member right there on the teal one. So you definitely could not ask for a more perfect day. Jack, Sandy Claus, Logan, welcome, welcome, welcome. Anthony, good to see you. Seeing a lot of the yellow ones. Yeah, the yellow is very popular. Some cast members coming back here on this one. They're actually calling those spacer gondolas now. It's the non-character gondolas, Disney is calling spacer gondolas. So, it's just kind of spacing out the characters. I still think eventually they're going to be used for other characters. When something else comes out, they want to put new characters on, they'll be able to put them on these gondolas. I actually really do like the plain ones. I love the characters, but I just kind of like how just clean and basic and sleek the the spacer gondolas are, especially that yellow one right there. That looks really, really nice. Bob Shelvoy, thank you so much. $20 super chat. Less than 3 weeks now. 3 weeks for Bob is going to come here and ride this. This is going to be so awesome. Thank you so much. That's very generous, Bob. Appreciate that. Kelly Vogel, we will be there this weekend. Sure hope it's open. This weekend, I don't know. You know, fingers crossed. You know, they're going to be doing more cast member previews. I'm sure they're going to be doing more of these. I believe there's some next week. So you never know. Maybe they'll start letting guests on board for soft openings. There's no guarantee. We do know that the 29th of September is the official opening date. But I got my fingers crossed. I would love to ride this before the 29th. I think everybody's well aware of that. It would be just amazing, and I hope, you know, other people get to experience it as soon as they can too. Ross Merrill, sorry, but the yellow gondolas remind me of the Plouchman's mustard bottle. Well, there is the mustard colored one. Now there's the bright yellow one, like the Winnie the Pooh gondola here. There's that yellow, and then there's that mustard colored one. I do like the brighter yellow one a little more than the mustard. There it is right there. Here, there's the yellow one, and then there's the mustard color right there. I believe that's, I'm not quite sure what that is. Zootopia, maybe? Oh no, I'm sorry, it's the Wreck-It Ralph. Lisa, 10 people can fit into one of these. They are rated to hold 10 people, 5 on each side. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they are going to, you know, hold a gondola and smash 10 people in there. I mean, you see it right now on normal days like this where there's just people, you know, sort of coming out of Hollywood Studios, heading back and forth. They're just going to put you or your family on board. They're not going to, you know, cram 10 people in there. Now the story is, you know, after Hollywood Studios lets out and you got the hordes of people that are getting back to the resorts, of course they're probably going to put more people on board. They're going to try to get as many people through as they can because that's what the system is designed to do. You know, it's designed to, you know, get as many people to move as many people as quickly as possible. So it's going to be a really cool process to watch when this thing really gets hit for the first time and they're putting these people on. We're going to see how fast the line moves. It's unlike the monorail, you know, that holds a large number of people, but you know, you got to sit there and you got to wait, you know, 5-10 minutes for a monorail to come, and then they get everybody on, then you're waiting and waiting. This is just constantly moving. This is a people mover kind of deal. So, you know, one person gets on, 5 people get on, and boom, 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 the line just keeps moving, and more people leave the station. So it's really, really a cool process to watch. And I think it will hold up to what it's exactly supposed to do and move a lot of people, like 4,500 people an hour, which is an awful lot of people, trust me. It's going to alleviate a lot of the bus pressure, the boat pressure here. Nick, our entire group will fit 8 of us coming in 2020. There you go, you know, 8 should fit comfortably in there, 4 on each side. That sounds really comfortable. The 5 is kind of pushing it. You know, you get somebody, you know, I'm a bigger guy, you get some, you know, me in there, you know, you're not going to cram 5 people into a bench seat. It's just not, you know, the physics just aren't going to work. So, you know, they're going to take a look at that. They're not going to make people uncomfortable, but, you know, they're going to get people on, you know, you may not, you're going to be in there with other families. So they're not going to try to squeeze you in there like sardines. But yeah, you will ride with other people. It's just like the monorail. You never know who you're going to ride with. And sometimes that's the best situation because I've had, you know, some of the best conversations I have are like on the monorail or on the boats where, you know, people from all over the world, you talk to them about their vacation and where they're from. So, you know, kind of take it as an intimate moment in here as well. Kind of learn about, you know, the people. You're only on here for a couple minutes, but, you know, say hi to the person you're riding with and see where they're from. And they might be nervous. You know, maybe it's their first time going up this high and maybe they haven't done something like this. So, you know, talking and relating to that other person might ease some of the tensions as well for a first-time rider. Hint, hint, when I ride it, you might have to do that for me. Somebody's probably going to have to hold my hand when we're up there, so we'll see how that goes. Keystone, hit that like button. I appreciate that. Lisa, if you compare how many people on just one bus, wow, this is going to be amazing. Yeah, bus technically holds 72 up to 80 people or so in a bus load. The Arctic buses, the bendy buses, those hold, you know, over 100, 120 or something like that. So, you know, what a bus can do, they could probably move that many people in, you know, 15 minutes, that bus load, and what it takes to actually wait for one bus to come to Hollywood Studios to take people out of here. So we're really going to see a drastic improvement. You know, and these are large resorts too. You're going to Caribbean Beach, you're going to Pop Century and Art of Animation. They chose those resorts because they're so large. So many people stay there. So, you know, you're going to get a lot, these mass groups of people using this system. And then the rest of the people will be able to use the buses. They'll be able to divert more buses from those resorts, you know, to get them over here to go to other resorts. So I think it's just going to work its way out, or work itself out, and it's going to be a great situation for everybody. All the other resorts are going to benefit from this as well. You know, you think about it, it just makes a lot of sense. Sherry Awesome Sunset Travels, welcome, welcome, welcome. Zippity Doodad, welcome. Good to have you here, my friend. Pinchy 20, I'm autistic, but an open book. I get along with people at Disney all the time, especially in line for something. That is great. I would love to talk to you in line. That's awesome, especially if you love Disney. There's nothing better than talking to someone who is absolutely in love with Disney and has that same passion that you have for it. You know, and again, people from all over the world, even on my streams here, people from all over the world come here to watch. And it is so much fun to talk to people from the UK and Australia and Japan and just all over the place. Everybody loves Disney. It's just like a universal thing. There's a couple more cast members getting on board here. Whoa, hang on guys. Malfunction. I gotta set you down for a second. Bear with me guys, my my camera just popped off here. This is the joys of live streaming, right? My mount, my grip for my camera is getting a little worn out since I do this so much. And it literally just popped off. It almost popped off into the water the other day. I was over at the International Gateway, and let me get it remounted here, sorry. And I was standing like by the water, not directly over the water, but just out of the blue, it just did that same thing. It like popped off, and I'm like, whoa, and I grabbed it and caught it, but that thing would have took a nosedive right into the water, which would not be cool at all. So I definitely have to get a new grip for this thing, because that's the second time it's happened, and I can't let that continue to happen. Diz Dreamers, yeah, the head popped off, exactly. It was like riding a roller coaster there for a second. You can come directly here, you can get thrill rides here. All right, I think I'm back on board here. Michael, welcome. Voting, good to have you here. Now you're dizzy, sorry about that. Totally not intended. Sometimes we do have malfunctions. The joys again of live streaming. So yeah, so far maybe 30, 35 cast members have boarded. Man, I was really hoping for this line to be winding around. I would just would love to have this opportunity to get on there. And I'm sure they're going to run this throughout the majority of the day.
It's not open yet. End of the month.
So, you know, you might have more people that'll show up later. This just started at noon, so, you know, it's always takes a little bit to get going. Unless you're Galaxy's Edge and you show up here at 6 o'clock in the morning and there's a sea of people, and then it starts to taper off a little bit. So this is the reverse, I think. It's going to be a slow start, and then it's going to pick up a little later on in the day. And a lot of cast members are probably working their shift. They're going to get off, and they'll come over here, and they'll jump on board. And I believe this is the transportation cast members today. Hey, how are you guys? Passport to the parks. Appreciate it.
Watching from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, love it. David, thank you so much. $5 super chat. Here's $5 towards a new grip, Rob. I can't have you lose that camera. Thank you so much. And they're like really cheap. I just go on Amazon. It's you've seen like the selfie sticks and all that. It's just that little springy grip. But I will definitely use that. I will go home today and order that on Amazon and have it shipped toot sweet. All right, so the gondolas have stopped. So we know that there are some cast members on board and the gondola has stopped. So we're gonna watch. You can hear, it's hard for you guys to hear, but they're doing an announcement. Trying to see what they're saying. Some sort of an announcement, obviously, that the Skyliner has stopped. This is probably going to be part of the testing process. They want to stop this thing with cast members up there to maybe, you know, when they get off and say, what was it like up there to sit for a couple minutes. You know, I'm sure they're going to get a lot of feedback from cast members today. All right, here we go. Just said remain seated, so it's probably going to start back up again. There we go. So yeah, that was about a minute or so. Not too bad. And again, there will be situations to where they might have to stop it like this, but I don't think it's going to be more than what you saw here, more than just a minute. You know, you're not going to be sitting up there for 3 and 4 hours at a time in a sweat box and all these terrible things that we see on Twitter and the comments, and social media just loves to make things so terrible. But that was not bad at all. And again, this could just be part of the testing. Throw some people up there when they get off. You know, you sat up there stationary for a minute. What was it like? Yeah, you can definitely hear the announcements coming out of the station though. So you will hear them in the station. I'm sure you're going to hear those announcements in the gondola as well. Again, we did confirm that there's definitely audio on board. We heard it the other day over by Hourglass Lake. They were going overboard and they said, "You are now gliding over the glistening waters of Hourglass Lake," which is so fitting because it is so beautiful there. All right, Chris, thank you so much. $1.99 super chat. Let's see, maybe upgrade to a better quality grip, Rob. Yes, I am definitely going to do that. Sorry, it's hard to read. Sometimes I always say it's those dark blue backgrounds with the black writing on it. It's like impossible to read some of these super chats, but yes, I'm definitely going to upgrade to the better grip. This thing is completely worn its way out and camera keeps slipping off of it, and we can't have that. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate the super chats. Maria, once again, I miss being a cast member. I was lucky enough to experience a cast member preview for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Very, very cool. See, even Mike Wazowski gives you a thumbs up on that one. All right, there's one of our teal cast members there. I think they look pretty good. I honestly do. Getting a lot of mixed reviews on what people think about them. Some people love them, some people aren't too thrilled with them. I think the biggest complaint that I'm hearing is people think that they should all be the one color. They don't like that the men are in the tangerine and the girls are in the teal. You know, a lot of people are saying all one color, but you know, I think it's kind of cool. It's a mix-up. You know, you're used to seeing like bus drivers, they're all in the same costume, the same colors. In fact, there's a bus driver right now. He's going to jump on board. Same with the you know, the ship captains and the monorail. They all have the same uniform, so it's kind of neat to see a little bit of a change up. Everything doesn't always have to be, you know, exactly the same way. So Disney's just changing it up a little bit, trying something new, which I'm all for. I think it's cool. And they're trying to match the gondola colors. You know, I thought about this. I think the teal is a good choice. The tangerine, I thought, it's kind of an odd choice. But when you really think about it, you know, what are the other gondola colors? This bright yellow, which definitely isn't going to work. I think the tangerine is kind of a mix between the mustard and the bright yellow. You know, they got that neon green color. They have the purple. They have the bright red. I don't think those colors would have meshed very well. I think it would have been too much of an eyesore. So I think these are nice colors. I just think they look nice. They work well in the sun. Just a personal opinion. See, Michael, their uniforms are terrible. See, everybody's got different opinions on it. But that's okay. Again, so many things happening at Disney. You can have different opinions about everything that happens here, and that's what makes it so great. What I love or what somebody else loves, somebody else might hate, and that's okay, because whatever I might hate, you might love. So there's so many different options here of things to love and things to you can finish my sentence. Sometimes I blank out. I try to watch things that are going on. I'm looking at the comments and I'm trying to talk sometimes, and sometimes my brain shuts off and my mouth can't quite catch up with it. I'm sorry, guys. See, Jim, 17 days and counting, 7 nights, 8 days. Should get to ride several times. Hope to catch up with you at some point during the trip. That would be awesome. When you're here, maybe we'll ride the Skyliner. Let's try to set that up. And again, opening day is on the 29th. Not sure if they're going to do an opening ceremony or any kind of dedication. Haven't heard that yet. So I'm not sure where the inauguration will be or where my first ride will actually be. But at 2 o'clock, I am going to be here. So 2 o'clock on the 29th, I'm going to be right here at Hollywood Studios because I want to ride this thing from Hollywood Studios. And people, you want to show up, you want to ride it, you want to have a good time, let's jump on board and let's just have a great time doing it. Over on Facebook, there's an event if you want to go sign up for that. Got some links and descriptions and things like that. You can find it on, in the YouTube descriptions or Facebook or wherever if you want more information on that. But just a fun event, nothing, just coming to Hollywood Studios, park in the parking lot, and we'll take a ride on the Skyliner. It just sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Do you know what the air quality is going to be like in there?
The air quality? Well, that's what everybody kind of is wondering. I think it's going to be fine because what I always say, you're standing under the shade right here and you probably feel pretty comfortable with a little breeze. I think it's going to be just the same inside there. So if you got the sun beating down on your head and there's no breeze, then you're more uncomfortable here. I think it's going to feel just like we're standing right here inside. That's my personal opinion because it has the reflective glass. The sun is going to be off of your head. It's got the ventilation system, and it's a passive ventilation, so the airflow is supposed to get sucked through the cabin.
Yeah. With the movement of
Yeah, with the movement.
It's just when they were standing still because they were doing something to help someone maybe who have difficulty getting out or whatever.
I was actually just talking about that when they did stop it. I said, you may see that from time to time, and they're probably going to do that with the testing today. So when a cast member's on there, they can ask them when they get off, what was it like to sit up there for a minute in the heat or whatever? Was it terrible? Was it fine?
Well, I'm wondering if they're doing some kind of those little tourist moments where somebody drops their cell phone right
you
when
never
they're
know.
Getting in.
Right.
Or, so that cast members can be aware of how to deal with that.
Yeah, and they're right there. There's a dispatcher right there that can stop the system at any time. So you're right. I never even thought about that. Somebody drops something and they, something goes right. Anything can happen.
I just dropped my cell phone. I can't.
I wonder how often when people are really on it that they're going to be stopping like they did just a few minutes ago.
Right.
Well, that's what we're thinking. I don't think it's going to be a normal process, but like she just said, if something happens and they have to stop it, it's not going to be they're just going to stop it to stop it. But I mean, they even move so slow. I mean, it's not like you're in a panic to get something. So
but look at how they're flying when they come down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
they go quick.
I mean, they're really flying in, and then once they disconnect right there, then they really slow down.
Yep, it breaks, and there's the track, the wheels in the track take it around really slow.
I didn't want to come over and interrupt you, but
no, that's all right.
Broadcasting, and I wanted to come over.
No, that's fine.
This is my wife, Judy. I'm Don. I met you the other
day. Yeah.
Hey, good to meet you.
Yep, I remember. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Probably not on there long enough.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, the 29th.
We'll be watching the day that you broadcast.
Please do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Then the 29th, we're gonna say, "Come on, Rob, get on
I
there."
think they're going to do it early.
I hope so. I'm here a lot, so if they do, I'm going to try to jump on board.
Absolutely. We've made plenty of friends by now.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope somebody will take pity on me.
I don't see a whole lot of people riding, so the cast member preview must be limited to certain ones.
Yeah, I think today is transportation. There's different modes. There's like the studios is next week or something like that. So different cast members at different times.
Yeah, they don't want a deluge of cast members because they get it with 60 or 70,000 employees.
Right.
They get it.
And you're right, they want to start slow, give the cast members a chance to break it in, and this is a learning process for them too.
Absolutely.
I'm going to text you sometime. If you want to go to the top of the World Lounge, I'll take you up there.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, please.
We're about to leave today, and so...
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back in December.
Awesome.
I'm sure you'd like to go up there.
Yeah, that would be incredible. No. No.
It's a date.
Sounds good.
We'll be back
First
in December.
week.
Okay.
First week of December.
Sounds good. Thank
Take
you.
you with us.
Appreciate it.
I'll find you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Hello, how are you?
Charm.
What is it?
Charm. You could
Charm.
not pronounce my surname. It's Mojicic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm live right now. Do you want to say hi or?
Sure. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Rob.
Thank you.
Finally.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got more cast members getting on. Oh, here comes a nice group.
Yeah. I was just telling my husband, why do these cast members stand here the whole day for what?
No, it's testing right now, so this is just kind of breaking in the system, really easy. You know, get some cast members on board so the Skyliner cast members can learn the process of what it will be like to have actual guests on board. Which is great for them, because then when we actually get to ride it, it'll be perfect, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I love about Disney, is they want things perfect before they really open it up.
So Cammie's in school?
What's that?
Cammie's in school?
Yeah, she's in school right now, yeah.
I get like updates when you're like live. I'm not on my phone now. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you were live.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That is awesome.
Park and I said, oh, I think that's what I was even talking to my husband.
Yeah, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
Hanging out at the Skyliner.
I was telling him I could not wait till the opening day on the 29th.
Yeah.
I hope we be the first ones to ride it.
Yeah, I hope so.
So you're staying here for a while?
Yeah, I'll be here for a little bit. We'll just kind of watch some more people ride and just have a lot of fun. People love chatting, so.
So is there like people going on? Is it all cast members? Because they're like
Just all
civilians.
cast members. They're just they have to show their ID, so they can dress plainly. They can dress in their regular street clothes, but they just have to show their cast member ID to get on board. So, like we couldn't just walk up there and get on because we don't have the ID. So.
So any cast member can, oh my God, my husband can do it. I cannot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure they'll let them know. And
Okay, I see you around. Nice to meet you.
okay, you
Bye.
too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Have a great time. More cast members. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is so fun to watch. This is actually happening. This is like for real. This is exactly what it's going to be like. This process is so smooth too. I mean, it's simply you just walk up. They direct you right into the to the gondola. Got plenty of time. You know, a lot of people have asked how much time do you have to do this. I mean, these people are pacing back and forth and just taking their sweet time to get on board. You have a lot of time to board these gondolas. You really do. I mean, this purple one has just been in the station for quite some time. So even if something were to happen, there's a slip up, you know, you jump off, your kid jumps on a gondola by accident, you have time to get them off. There's not going to be any craziness to where it takes off. And again, they have the ability to stop this on a dime, so plenty of time. Biff, it is amazing. I totally agree. Way too son, this is amazing to watch. Sherry, awesome sunset travel. This is so exciting. Yes, everybody's happy for this. I am happy too. Larry, any idea if all the segments of Skyliners are in cast member preview or just Hollywood Studios to Caribbean Beach? I think it's just here. This just makes sense here because, you know, for cast members to go to the resorts, you'd have to get into the Pop Century or, you know, get to the Caribbean Beach. It's just kind of a hassle. So this is easy. You can just come here. You can park in the parking lot, do whatever you have to do. A lot of cast members are probably working out of here. So I think it's just from here. Now, whether or not they're transferring at Caribbean Beach and going to Pop Century or going over to Epcot and just making the turn and coming back, they may get a whole, tour of the whole thing. They're probably doing transfers over there. Again, this is a learning procedure. This is a learning process. So, they're probably cast members over at Caribbean Beach, exiting the cast members over there, directing them to where they need to go, to Epcot, to Pop Century Art of Animation. Everybody needs to learn the process, so this works for everybody. So I would definitely assume that they are doing multiple transfers over there, but this is where they're starting from. This is the base of operation today. In the beginning, I did show, you can see right down towards the end here, that is the entrance, and that is, they have it blocked off with the bushes there. There's actually a sign that says cast preview today or cast event today, something like that. Michael, loading process reminds you of the Haunted Mansion. Does the floor move? It does not. The floor is stationary. The gondolas are just moving very slowly. That is the only difference between like the People Mover and the Haunted Mansion and like the Little Mermaid. Most of your dark rides is the floor moves in those. The floor is actually stationary here. So you walk up to the gondola and you walk on board. But again, look how slow it's moving. Very easy to enter the gondola. Shouldn't be any issues. And for anybody who's just joining, I always like to kind of show the process here. So if you take a look, again, we have the rear track, and there's one of the gondolas that are actually moving out of the rear track, and this is where they load the scooters and anybody with any sort of special needs. So the gondolas actually remain stopped back here, and you can see the gondola behind it is now in the stop position, and they can take as much time as they need to load a scooter on board. And once that scooter's on board, you can see this gondola right here has just joined the forward track. So it comes right back into the system. So if you're just gonna walk up and you're gonna board the gondola without any assistance, this is where you're gonna do it. This is the main loading track up here. The rear track is for special needs, wheelchair scooters, and such. So Disney has absolutely thought of everything. They want everyone to enjoy this. So don't have any hesitation to be able to ride this. And again, it's fully ADA compliant, 820 millimeter door opening, which is just over 32 inches, which is fully ADA compliant. The bench seats actually fold up, so you'll be able to roll the scooter or wheelchair right in, plenty of room in there. And then off you go. And by the looks of it, somebody else had asked, how they're gonna know if there's a wheelchair on board. I don't know 100% for sure. There's two options. I know that there is an LED light on the outer door that either turns red or green, so that could be some sort of an indicator. But actually what I think it is, I think it's just gonna be just a mathematical process. So we see how the gondola comes back into the rear track, and you're gonna see this next gondola is gonna move up. So what I'm thinking is that every certain number of gondolas, say every 10 gondolas or so, one will get replaced back here. So each station will know what certain gondolas will probably go into that rear track. So they'll know, every 10 gondolas is going to have to move into the rear track. So it could have, a wheelchair on board, and that gondola would move into the rear track and the other one. So they're probably just designated gondolas is what I'm assuming. Now that may not be the case. We could definitely have some sort of a system, with the LED lighting or whatever, but this is just a guess from sitting here watching it on how I think it's going to work. And again, they've stopped the system. Some more.
The Disney Skyliner is temporarily delayed. We will resume the journey as soon as possible. Thank you.
So she said the Disney Skyliner has been temporarily delayed. We'll resume your journey as soon as possible. I'm not sure if you guys could actually hear that. Very pleasant female voice again. So the last time it was just about a minute or so that they stopped. And again, this could be part of the process of just stopping to test it, to see how the people feel when they're up there and get their opinions when they get out. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is just, if I were testing, I would definitely want some opinions and try to do everything possible to figure out, the pros and the cons of the system. Mark, the computer system would know which ones need to go to the back track. That is very possible too. This is a very, very computer-oriented system. that can monitor these gondolas. You know that they probably have a GPS device on board because it gets triggered as the gondola leaves, just like the buses. You know, when they leave a certain area, a GPS will trigger the announcements on board, so it knows exactly where that bus is at any given time, so it knows what announcement to give. Second to that, the Skyliner is probably going to do the same thing. So as it leaves the station and it goes past a certain point, it's going to probably trigger the announcements. So they'll be able to track where that gondola is as well, and they should have a record of every gondola, exactly where it's at on the line, what number it is, you know, what's on board, scooter. I'm sure they have records of that. Dale, do I think they can get 2 scooters on board? No, I do not believe they would do that. I don't think they would have enough room to do that. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think they'll do that. So if you are a family, you know, one person will have to ride and then wait for the other one to come through. Again, that's just a guess. I haven't seen a scooter be loaded on board yet. Is it possible if they were to fold up both seats, could you angle a scooter into the side and then another one to the side? Possibly, but I don't think they'll do that, but that's something we're going to have to wait and see once it's actually done. All right, another cast member coming, and now they have restarted the gondolas. Again, it just seemed like maybe just over a minute or so. All right, so those 2 cast members have boarded. Now another cast member just came and got on board. They did not put her in the same gondola, so she got her own gondola. So again, they're not just, you know, pushing people, as many people as they can in the gondolas. And again, it's not busy. There's not many people here. But at closing, you could probably be assured that you're going to get multiple people on these gondolas at one time, because that's the whole point of the system. What's that?
Are there people getting on there?
Cast members.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
I don't mean to bother you, but
No.
do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Passport
I'm
to
a
the
big
Parks.
fan, man. You guys you're awesome.
Awesome. Here, let me give you my card.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much.
There you go.
bro. Yeah, man. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate
bro.
that.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Modeling Disney, good afternoon, my friend. Thank you for being here. Christian, what about Sharknadoes? Yes, I'm not sure if Disney has actually planned for the Sharknado possibility, but it is Disney. They are very safety oriented, so I'm sure they do have a Sharknado plan somewhere in the books. I think in Florida it'd be more of an alligator nado. I guess that's how you would say it, a crocodile nado. But yes, sharks flying through the air could be a problem for the Skyliner. Hopefully if it gets to that point, they've already shut the Skyliner down and gotten everybody off quickly. Sarah Stone, welcome. Lily Darlin, 715, hello, hello. Michael, I hope the announcements are not put out when passing over the hotels. I seen your video hearing them pass over Hourglass Lake. I totally thought they should have waited a few seconds. You know, really, it's not bothersome at all. It was so quick, and that's literally over a pathway. It's not near the rooms at all. So you're not going to hear these announcements blaring out, and you can barely hear it just going over for about 10 seconds. So it's not like they're jamming music and you're going to hear it over Caribbean Beach. They're so high over the rooms there. I can guarantee you that you're not going to be able to hear whatever announcements they're going to have coming out of these. Trust me, I think Disney is very aware in listening to people, and their thoughts and what they do and they don't want to see. So I don't think they're going to do anything to rock the boat and the waters, especially at Caribbean Beach, because that's a big one. It's going right over top of the resort roofs there, over top of the islands. And when you're standing underneath them, they are high, and you cannot hear them. They're virtually silent going overhead. They're just really pretty to watch, but you can barely hear them going overhead. This whole system is so quiet. You can just hear every once in a while when it first starts out on the compression batteries here. You can just hear a little bit of rattling as it goes through the sheaves there, but other than that, they are just virtually silent. The station is very quiet. It's just sort of a little swishing sound as it leaves the station, as it picks up momentum. Michael, you might hear noisy guests though. That is a good point. That is something that Disney really can't control. You know, if you get people that are noisy on board and you know, laughing and screaming and stuff like that, that's a very good point. But that's out of Disney's control. We'll have to just kind of wait and see what happens with that. You know, will you get every once in a while where you get some people acting up inside these, of course, but you know, majority of the guests, 95% of the guests that are going to ride these are going to be fine. They're going to be having a great time. They're at Disney. They're respectful. Every once in a while, you get the people who just want to make a scene and things like that. But you know, Disney will deal with that. And if it's just one out of every few thousand people that do it, I think those are pretty good odds. You know, personally, the last thing that I want to do when I'm up there is scream out the windows. I don't see the thrill in that. But after a good night at the park, a family's up there, they're laughing and having a good time. Of course, that's totally natural. So you might hear a little bit of that. But I truly don't think it's going to be as bothersome as you might expect it to be. Brian, I was watching a video yesterday, a vlogger taking a gondola up to the top of a mountain in Bavaria in a hailstorm. The gondola didn't seem to care. Yeah, and that's a very good point. These gondolas, and Doppelmayr gondolas especially, I mean, these things are made to take some rugged situations. I mean, Disney is just going over flat land. Of course, it's 90-degree weather here, and we might get some wind and rain and things like that. But these things are made to go up the sides of mountains, up into snow-covered mountains with hailstorms and snowstorms, and these things just run like right through it like it's no problem. So, running on a flat land for 2 minutes across the parking lot of Hollywood Studios here is really nothing for these gondolas to get across. This system is well designed. It can hold the load. It can hold the heavy winds. Of course, when there's lightning coming down, can they withstand that? Hey, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Nice.
How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What is it, Joanna?
Yes, Joanna.
Thank you.
We've been following
How are
your
you?
channel,
Hello, how are you?
Excited, about the Skyliner.
Yeah,
We're,
hello.
anxiously
How are you?
waiting, hoping to see it.
I like your cat hat. That's cute. My daughter would love that.
Hey, thank you. Hello. Thank you for
Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. They're doing cast member previews today, so people are actually getting on board and riding. And
we were hoping for a soft open.
yeah, they're testing cast members first so they can learn and get the process down, and maybe soft openings, no guarantee, but
yeah,
definitely on the 29th.
We're praying, Lord, please.
I hope so. I hope everybody who's here is like, yeah, I want to ride it. I hope so. I hope you guys get to.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be a good birthday present, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy birthday. Alan Thompson, thank you so much. $4.99 super chat. Thanks from the UK. Love seeing this in action. Thank you very much. Love having the UK here. Very, very generous. Much appreciated. All right, so let's take a little bit of a walk. We've been kind of staring at this same scene for a bit here. I'm going to take you up and show you the little entranceway here first, and then we'll walk out maybe towards the bus stops. We'll kind of see the gondolas going overhead, see who we can see some heads in the gondolas, just change it up a little bit. That makes me so happy when I get to meet people. That is like the best part, is when somebody comes up and says that they watch this and they get great information, especially like people like my hotel tours and stuff like that, when they've actually said, I get a lot of people that go to Coronado Springs and actually say, I'm staying at Coronado Springs because I watch your videos and everything. That really, really means so much to me. It's amazing. I wait for the crowds to go by here. Well, not crowds, it's just a few people. Yeah, again, it's the cast event. I love the Disney Skyliner sign. Awesome. Love the costumes. I actually like them a lot, yeah. Yeah, I like them. It's that old Pan Am. It's like the Pan Am.
Thank you for flying with us.
Exactly. They look great. Have fun. Sorry I'm not talking right now. It's just kind of nice sometimes just to walk and enjoy the sights. Cast member had a cool shirt on. He actually had a Skyliner patch on his sleeve. It's the Disney Skyliner logo patch. That would be pretty awesome to have. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, you know, when I sit here and think about this, as we get closer, you know, again, we're only, what, 18 days out from the actual grand opening. And for the past 2 years, I've been thinking to myself, yeah, I'm gonna ride this someday. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Because I would always think, well, it's 2 years from now. Now it's 18 days away, and I look at it and I'm thinking, what is it going to be like? You know, what is it gonna be like to come out of that station and just gently glide up this tower? And, you know, it looks kind of high, but it's really not that high. I mean, you could literally toss a baseball up there to it. It's not high at all. So, you know, part of me gets nervous just watching the cast members today. You know, it gives me a little bit of butterflies watching them get on and knowing that they're taking that journey over there and what it's like, what it feels like. But when you really watch it, they are just so incredibly smooth. They don't swing around, and you know, unless you get a really big gust of wind. But I mean, for the most part, it's just a beautiful ride. So it's literally going to be like you're on an escalator, just kind of gliding across the sky. And I think the views, once we get up there and we see the views, it's just going to be so encompassing that, you know, once you get past the first 10 seconds of that first feeling of going up, I think beyond that, it's just going to be such a cool experience being inside and looking around, listening to the announcements, you know, looking at Hollywood Studios behind you or in front of you, whichever way you're coming, and all the different sites that we've never seen from this vantage point before. All right, they're going to stop the gondolas here one more time. And when they do stop, you see it's just a little bit of a momentum swing, but that's just normal. There's nothing you can do about that. But again, it doesn't seem bad to me at all. And when it leaves the station and you get that little bit of kick, you know, as it draws back a little bit once the momentum takes it, I actually think that's going to be kind of fun. They're not moving too fast right now, so it doesn't have that momentum. But that looks like a lot of fun when it leaves the station, and then when it re-enters the station, you kind of, you know, that momentum kicks you back a little bit. Anthony, yep, this is what they're hearing. You know, welcome on board the Disney Skyliner. Again, it's very faint. You can just barely hear it when you stand there because you can hear the music. It's very loud in the background here. But yeah, right when it hits this tower here is when it starts up. So you just hear that voice kind of kick in and she's saying welcome aboard or something like that. Now I'm assuming there's probably going to be some music on board as well. We'll have to see. You know, it's Disney. Disney is, you know, amazing with their music. So I'm sure it's just going to be a very colorful ride with the voice and the music, and it should just be a lot of fun. An incredible adventure up in the sky. Let's see, Philip said, let me go back to Philip Wright. Would it not be great to hear a Peter Pan on the audio say, "Here we go," as the gondola accelerates out of the station? Philip, I totally agree with you. In fact, I said in my audio video, I've been saying all along, how cool would it be if, you know, you're on the Wreck-It Ralph gondola to have Wreck-It Ralph actually be your voice, or you're on the Toy Story gondola and Buzz and Woody are your voices telling you, you know, what you're coming to and what you're seeing. And then on the Spacer gondolas, you just have the regular female voice. Now that might be kind of difficult to do, to to have each voice. And it doesn't have to be the actual voice actors, but it's not like they couldn't get Tom Hanks and Tim Allen to come in and do it. I mean, it's Disney. But how awesome would that be? So right here, you're in the Toy Story gondola and you hear Buzz, saying, "Oh, to infinity and beyond," and all that. That would have been awesome. But I'll take the voice. I really do like the female voice. And I've said it before, I think the female voice is a great thing, because most of the Disney transportation, it's usually a male voice that you hear. So I'm really thrilled to hear the female voice. My daughter's gonna love that. So good move by Disney. Resort budgeting, I'm wondering if the announcements say anything when it stops for a minute, like the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, you can actually hear it in the station, that it says, we're temporarily stopped for whatever reason, remain seated. You would almost have to guess that they would say the same announcement on board. It'll just take over, just like you're on the monorail or you're at the Haunted Mansion. We've been temporarily detained or whatever. We'll be moving momentarily. And then it'll tell you again, please remain seated. The gondolas will remain, or, start motion immediately, that kind of thing. So it's always about safety. So anywhere, any kind of transportation you ride, you're always going to have safety announcements. It's the biggest part of Disney. They want their guests to be safe. And that's why we watch these gondolas test for so long, so many hours. And we saw what happened with the the Epcot line. All those hours of testing, all those hours of the gondolas hanging on that rope, and they had to go back and they had to make an adjustment to it. They took it down, they respliced it, and they rehung it. Get that out of the way so there's no issues when they get it opened up. Get all the bugs worked out, get all the kinks worked out. That's why they had so many hours of this testing, because it has to be perfect and it has to be safe, for when you and I and everybody else gets to ride it. So they are obviously at that point. They're putting people on it. They're putting cast members on it. Michael, character voices might still be at maybe different times in the trip. That could be true. All I've heard is one little snippet, one female voice saying that they're approaching Hourglass Lake, and a little bit here as you're leaving the station. Now, as you're approaching something else, maybe, even, as you're approaching, France or something at the International Gateway, you might have, Aurora coming on saying, "This is Princess Aurora, you're approaching France." I mean, that's kind of maybe a little far-fetched, but maybe the voices will kick in at some time. I think it's a little out there. It's probably not going to happen, but I would like to see something like that. It would just make it a little more magical, especially if they match it to the actual gondola you're on, to make it specific to that gondola. Even the Pirates of the Caribbean, you could have the Ire, maybe, you're on board and yo ho ho, it's a pirate's life for me. Going over the Caribbean beach in the Pirates of the Caribbean gondola with the pirates talking to you. I mean, come on. That's Disney magic right there in itself. Going into Epcot in the Coco gondola, I mean, there's magic right there in itself as well. I mean, there's just so many things. And I really love the We're Off to Neverland, the Peter Pan thing that Philip said. That's a great thing too. Maybe we can just think these things in our head. David, don't forget to give the thumbs up. Yes, please. Thank you very, very much. Paul, is Epcot line still on schedule? They had that down and spliced and back up within like 3 days, and they had the gondolas back up like 2 days after that. So they are back in full motion. They respliced it. They're going to do the load testing. Everything looks to be just fine for that Epcot line. I don't think there's going to be any issues with it opening up on time. If it doesn't, they might delay it for just a little bit, but I really think that it's going to be completely on time without any problems at all. I don't think Disney would have made the announcements knowing, that there could be potential issues and not be ready to ensure that all the lines are going to open. You know, they probably could have opened this Hollywood Studios line a lot earlier, but they held it because they wanted the whole system to open up at one time. And then they didn't open it up for Galaxy's Edge. Let everything be perfect. Let it all open so there's no confusion when you go over to Caribbean Beach and say, I want to go to Epcot. Well, sorry, the Epcot line is closed until blah, 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 blah. Let it all be open. Let it all work. So, you know, when people actually ride it, they're saying, wow, I had a great experience. It was cool. It was calm. It was fun. I got to where I was going in a timely manner. Those are the kind of things that I'm sure Disney wants to hear. They don't want to hear, you know, I couldn't get over to Epcot. I couldn't get over to Epcot. I couldn't get over to, they don't want to hear that. So at least I wouldn't if I was in charge. Jeremy McQuality, when we stayed there in April, let's see, I said that a couple weeks ago about Coronado. Let's see, I think I always jump into conversations a little late here, and I do apologize. See, Dennis, welcome. Street Cred 31, awesome to have you here. Another cool Toy Story Cloud Day. Yes, it does look like Andy's room in here, doesn't it? Anthony, for your safety, please don't stand while the Skyliner is moving. Yes, 100% do not stand up on these because there is a potential that they could stop for any reason at any time. So they do not want you standing on board. Some more cast members coming back from their journey. So yeah, they will definitely not have you standing on these. You know, no more than 10 max. Because if it does stop in the air, you could potentially, you know, lean forward and fall. And they definitely don't want to see that happen. Kevin, if this works, I wonder if they will expand it. I could almost see it expanding 100% for sure. I'm really surprised we didn't get anything at D23 about a phase 2. But yeah, so many options that you could expand the Skyliner into a phase 2, into a phase 3. You know, a lot of people keep saying Disney Springs. I honestly don't see the need for it at Disney Springs, at least right away. There's just not the volume of guests that come in and out of there at one given time. You need this in a park like Hollywood Studios or the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, when you have large groups of people that let out at one time, so you can have mass transit to try to get these people out. You know, you don't have 10,000 people exiting Disney Springs at one time at night. You might have some large crowds, but it's nothing that the buses and the boats can't handle there. So it's not practical to go to Disney Springs. It's practical to go to the Animal Kingdom. It would be practical if they do ever announce a 5th gate to go to the 5th gate. It's practical to go, I'm going to keep using this word, to go from TTC over to the Magic Kingdom and back. Because when Magic Kingdom lets out, those ferry boats, the monorail, and the buses get overwhelmed. They have a ton of people. It's the busiest park. A ton of people coming out of there. So to have a gondola system that could take you to the TTC and alleviate some of that. There's gondolas out there that can hold 30, 40 people. There are some large gondola systems out there. So you could have some massive things going over. And it doesn't have to go directly over Seven Seas Lagoon. It could go over to the side, behind the bus stations would be a great place. Take it over by the monorail station at TTC would be another great place. All right, got a whole lot of transportation coming on here now. They're all excited too. They're all, woohoo, this is awesome. Good for them. There they go. There's the bus drivers, probably thrilled that their jobs are going to get a little bit easier with the Skyliner. So of course they're going to come take a ride. Look at that. That is awesome. Good for them. See, and he has time to get up. He's asking questions. That cast member's coming over, answering whatever question he has. Plenty of time, plenty of time. And then, boom, the door closes and he's off. So you have the time. You're not rushed getting on these gondolas. And there you go. You can hear him woohooing in there too. There's the answer to Michael's question. You can hear the woohoos coming out of the gondolas. Sam, I was thinking what happens when the studios close and Epcot is still open and vice versa. Is the line separate, a line from Epcot? Yes. The Epcot line is separate from Hollywood Studios. The central hub, let me walk over here real quick. And again, I will go over this whenever I need to. Sometimes people don't understand the system. I'm always happy to kind of explain this. The map is right here, so it's really easy. The Caribbean Beach is the central hub, so everything transfers here. We're at Hollywood Studios now, so what's happening right now is, say these cast members are heading over to the Caribbean Beach. They can disembark here. You cannot travel through. You disembark here and you're going to say, I want to go to Pop Century and Art of Animation, which is down here, or I want to travel up to Epcot through the Disney Riviera Resort. So you would transfer, the cast members will say, okay, you're going to take this walkway to these other gondolas. You're going to get on a separate line. You're going to reload onto a different gondola, and you're going to go all the way through to the Disney Riviera Resort, where you can actually ride through here. This is not a, you can actually get off if you want to, or you can continue on through to get all the way over to Epcot. Vice versa, you can get on a different gondola here to go to Pop Century and Art of Animation. You cannot go through. It does not, the track does not join up, and you don't go through down to Pop Century and Art of Animation. You transfer here. So you get on different gondolas. This is the central hub. This is where all the gondolas are actually parked up front here as well. So that's how the system works. So Hollywood Studios could be closed and clear and everything would be fine, and Epcot could still be running, or vice versa. That's a great question, though. I'm always happy to answer those questions. Trust me, I've been watching this for 2 years. I've learned a lot just watching and talking to people who are much smarter than me about gondola systems, and I've learned a lot along the way. And I'm always happy to share whatever I know. Is it always 100% accurate? No. Sometimes I have to guesstimate things just from what I see. Until we actually physically ride it, you know, we don't know 100%, but from the things I see is the things I try to project in my videos here. Felix, they should make me an honorary cast member for the day. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. You never know. Maybe before the 29th. It would be awesome to ride. No matter what, though, it's definitely going to happen on the 29th. You guys can join me for that. There's no pictures, there's no video coming out of any of these cast member previews. I'm sure we'll see something slip out. Somebody will sneak something. So, you know, we might see some onboard picture, some onboard video as time goes on. But, you know, I'm interested in my reaction, you know, when I get on it and I'm able to ride it, to give you my personal reaction, you know, just the, you know, for following it for so long, just the emotional response of just finally having the opportunity to get on board and to experience it for the first time. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. You know, it's more than just zipping across the Caribbean beach. I think it's an experience. You know, it's something that we've watched for so long. It's amazing. It's Disney transportation. It's Disney magic. I always say how cool it would have been to watch the monorail being built and document the monorail being built back in the time. And now we get to do this with the Skyliner. Amazing experience. You know, so just really thankful to Disney that they are doing these kind of things, making these magical things happen, and letting us kind of, you know, experience it along the way. This is part of the magic for us as well, to watch these amazing things happen. You know, to see them all come together. All right, looks like maybe some Imagineers coming over here. They're behind the poles there. We'll see if they jump on board. Well, that word, I'd have to shave. No, they waived the facial hair thing for cast members. That's been gone since I think the 90s, or maybe early 2000s when they did that. So yeah, there's beards. I mean, you have to be trimmed and proper and stuff like that, but mustaches, beards, all that stuff you can have. All right, there they go. I'm gonna jump on board. So there's 3 people there. They all sat on the same side, so they're probably comfortable on that bench. You can actually see the gondola tilted back a little bit, so they're all 3 on that same side, so a little bit of weight in the gondola. You can see it tilted back just a little bit. So we'll watch it take off and it'll even out. And off it goes. Doesn't matter how many times I watch that happen, it never gets old. It is so much fun to watch. All right, another group of cast members coming, very cool. I'm sure everybody's going to have their first experience. All right, fake high fives to everybody. Awesome, 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 good for you. So yeah, they're going down to the check-in area down there. And this is where the loading area will be. So even, you know, when we ride as guests, we'll be loading through the rear, and we're going to take the same walk as they go in. There's a pathway that takes you kind of winding around the front here. Should be able to see their heads pop up here momentarily. See them right there as they're walking on. There they are. So nice, nice easy little pathway. And you can see right there, if you're in a wheelchair, you could just go into that secondary track. And if not, you just proceed forward to the normal loading area. Yeah, there's a large group here now. So we'll see, this is about 10 or 12 people. All right, so they put, there's about 6 people on board there. And they're putting about 6 or 7 people on board this one. And just like that, the line is cleared. Again, you see how those doors just automatically close? There's actually a device, it's a trigger that's up on the hanger arm there that gets pressed down, and then it pushes the hydraulic doors closed. So everything is done automatically, and they stop the system for whatever reason. So there's cast members on that gondola right there. And we hear the bell sounding up again. Looks like they're going to start back up. Well, it's the 2 bells. Usually the 3rd bell means that they're going to go. So there we go. So that gondola again has about 6 people on it. You can see they're on both sides of the gondola. This gondola as well has, I think about 7 people on board. A little harder to see through the character windows there. All right, everybody, so there you have it. We've been out here for about an hour and a half. We've watched, again, another historical moment, the actual real cast member preview. We are in full motion now. This was the real first operational test. Up until this point, it's just been some of the Skyliner stragglers just kind of going back and forth during their training process. Imagineers, Doppelmayr people have ridden it sporadically here and there, but this is the first true test that we're going to see today. And again, they haven't been overwhelming with the crowds. I think they're going to try to ease into it, let the Skyliner cast members get a feel for it and just learn how to get guests on board, interact with the guests, and work out all these bugs so it's perfect for when we get to ride it. But again, this is, I love the historical moments here. You know, it might sound kind of silly. It's just people getting on and riding and things like that. But, you know, when we look back on this 20 years from now, it's going to be amazing to see all this happening. You know, we were there, we watched the testing, we watched all these things happen. It's just a lot of fun. It lets me geek out, and I hope you guys geek out over it too. By the response I get from everybody, it seems that you guys love it just as much as I do. So again, September 29th is the grand opening date. 2 o'clock if you want to come ride. I'm going to be hanging out here. Definitely just have some fun riding the Skyliner. Show up, we can all have some fun just jumping on board and experiencing this thing, and just having a great time. Cast members, awesome job. You guys keep it up. We're really rooting for you. I want you guys to do an amazing job on the 29th. You guys already do an amazing job. The costumes look great. Happy to see you guys having a lot of fun today. Congratulations to everybody who did get to ride today. Thumbs up to you, and hopefully we'll all have that experience soon ourselves. Visit passporttotheparks.com and subscribe here on YouTube. Always appreciate it, and hit that bell icon so you know when I do live videos for cool stuff like this. With that being said, thank you so much for the super chats today. Very much appreciated. Always very generous of you guys. And until the next time, which there's going to be a lot of next times because so much stuff is happening, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.